Are there any apologies?
There's just apologies from Phil Hewitt.
Thank you. Declarations of interest. Councillor, do you have any declarations of interest? I don't. Thank you. Minutes of the meeting held on the 3rd of June 2023. The minutes have been circulated. You and I were both there. Thank you. The minutes have been moved and I will sign them. Okay, next item, item 4, Nicholson Institute Levelling Up Fund Refurbishment Project, page 5 to page 28. Recommendations, the actions required for the Charities and Trust Committee to review the contents of the report and provide a recommendation to proceed with the Levelling Up funded refurbishment project led by Stafford Moorlands District Council. B, for the Charities and Trust Committee to delegate authority, the Assistant Director of Commercial and Assets, to approve a schedule of works, together with the plans and specifications required to complete a project to required standards, and to agree a licence for alterations and any other documents required to implement these works. And C, officers to return with a further detailed update in respect of the occupation and use of building once agreed and finalised. Wait for the report. Thank you.
Thank you, Chairman. I'm not sure how familiar you are with the Nicholson Institute building, but it is a Grade 2 star listed building. Very sort of historic, beautiful thing, as the report says, gifted by the Nicholson family for the residents of Leek. There's a library in it, also some tourist information type services from Moorlands District Council. And the local college also used to use it, but they haven't used it for a good while. The costs are shared essentially between Moorlands District Council and the County Council in terms of running the building, but buildings like this are very expensive, and particularly with the college not using it, has become a little bit dilapidated in those areas. So as the report says, this is using funding obtained by Stafford Moorlands District Council to upgrade the building. So from an officer's point of view, this is a brilliant opportunity to get some money and investment and keep the building in good use, revitalise it where the college doesn't wish to use it at all at other wider public funding. The project is being led, because of the nature of the funding, through the Levelling Up Fund by the District Council. But as the responsible body in terms of it being a charity trust, the County Council has to give consent to any of the works. There's some information there in terms of the amount of money that is planned to be spent. So there's a couple of phases to this. The first one, the overall project costs about £1.5 million, and then £2.5 million. And a description of the work that's planned to be undertaken. So whilst we are involved in it from a property point of view quite heavily, our teams are involved in it. It is being led by the District Council, but we would need to make sure that any works that are actually undertaken are undertaken properly insured, proper capability of a contractor, and a licence agreement to undertake a third party to undertake the works on the building. That's our responsibility. So that's essentially what we're asking for at the moment. We will use the normal council processes and procedures in terms of checking the works, checking the contractors, keeping up with the project management, and that kind of thing. So we are just looking for consent really from this committee to put that into the normal processes that the county council would operate in terms of property refurbishment under these circumstances. Thank you.
David, do you have any comments?
It's a listed building. Something's got to be done to sort it out. So I would support the recommendation, Chairman.
Thank you. It's also quite a short time scale, really, isn't it? Starting in May and hopefully finishing in September. So my fellow councillor and myself support it, and we agree with the 3 recommendations and ask that it be continued with. Item 5. Endowment Charities Annual Accounts 2022-23. Recommendations that the Charity and Trust Committee approve the annual accounts for 22-23 for the 12 charities where Staffordshire County Council is the custodian trustee, as per Appendix 1, and that the Charity and Trust Committee approve the trustees' annual accounts for the 3 charities which are required to submit such to the Charity Commission. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning. Yes, as the Chair just said, this is the annual report that we bring to you for approval of the accounts before we submit them to the Charity Commission, where they appear on the Charity Commission's website. You're aware that the County Council is the custodian trustee for the 12 charities for which the accounts are presented, and they're typically these charities set up for education purposes. The role of the Charity and Trust Committee here is to make sure that the charities are solvent and well run, and that they deliver the charitable objectives for which they were intended. The Director of Finance looks after the day-to-day accounting, makes sure the payments are in line with the objectives of the charity, and draws up the accounts. The final step in the process is that where the income is over £25,000, they have to have an annual report and an independent audit, and that is done by the Internal Audit Service of the County Council. So just present the accounts to you. There's nothing unusual in the accounts to report on. Thank you.
I've gone through the accounts and I'm happy with them. I spent yesterday afternoon doing it. Councillor Smith? Okay. So, Councillor Smith and myself are happy with the recommendations, and we agree with points A and B. Are there any matters which the public should be excluded? No? Okay, thank you very much, everybody. That's the end of the meeting.